Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie. Today we're here for another one of I let my friends pick my TBR, control my reading. I forget what this is called every single time. Today we have an exciting start of a vlog because these are the books that my partner Alex picked for me. I'm not going to put a picture of him in here because he would not enjoy that, but we're going to do those today. These are the three here. We're going to go through them super quickly, and as you can see, I've started one already. It's already mid-May, just finished Eurovision-a-thon yesterday, and I realized that I needed to start on these. So here we are. Let's go. So the picks were A Bookshop in Algiers, Cowetha Edemi, Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, because my boyfriend is not a book girly, not like a fiction book girly, so he has no idea what he's done in picking this one. But this is also a reread, so I'm semi-prepared for the pain and destruction that this will bring. And then the final one was Sugar by Carly Nugent, which is a book about a type 1 diabetic teenage girl. This is the one I've started. I read the first 32 pages the other day. I don't know. I have mixed feelings already because in one way I get some of it. Well, if you don't know, I'm also a type 1 diabetic. I was diagnosed at 14. I believe this girl is 16 right now and was probably diagnosed a year before. So we're about the same age when diagnosed. But she's definitely more of an angry teenager, and I was definitely more of just a depressed teenager. I didn't really do the anger, I did more of the sadness. So this is, at points, it's good. I'm interested to see how it will continue. One thing I am kind of enjoying is that every now and again, it'll have like her blood sugars numbers. So like here she's at 10. At the very start of the book, she's at 4.0, which would make me panic. But I'm enjoying, I don't know, I like that. So we'll see how we go. There was something about, it's interesting. I've never read a book about a diabetic before. It's just very rare to find in any books. Some of it's been really interesting. There was a part about like being like one of the first people to die in like an apocalypse situation. Sorry, Fletchy, you come down. And like, ooh, he just slipped on my pants. I'm sorry. What are you doing? That is something that I have often joked about with my friends because I 100% would. Yeah, I love this. The way I see it, there are two options. Lie down and drift slowly into a coma, or give myself up to the aliens /soldiers/zombies. As soon as the air raid sirens start, I'm done. Like, I love that. I feel that. And yeah, it's some interesting. This clip is an absolute disaster. I don't even know what half of the stuff I just said was, but I should check my own blood sugars. Are they okay? Oh yeah, they're good. They're in range. It's fine. More thoughts on this soon. I think I'm gonna try and finish this at Sunday today. Hopefully by next Sunday I'd like to be done. I feel like, well, I hope this one will be a quick read, considering, why did I do it that way? Considering it is reasonably short, and I'm pretty sure that while this is, it's not really chunky, but it's bigger, Fletchy just full on pushed my camera and tripod down. So I'm gonna take that as stop paying attention to other things. I'm right here. He's giving me the grumpiest look. So I'm gonna go pay attention to him. And I will come back and I'll talk more about these ones when he's not so desperate for my love and attention. I'll see you all in a few days. Come here. Oh. Hi. I have some things to say. We're 100 pages in, 112 to be exact, and I kind of hate this. It is not an enjoyable read. It's painful. Look, the representation of diabetes, yeah, sure, it's on par, which makes sense because the voices, the author is own voices. So it's like, yeah, cool. I can definitely see that you are, in fact, a type 1 diabetic. You get it. You get it to the point that it's like scary. I don't have any diabetic friends. So sometimes I'm like, Jesus, I've had that exact thought, and that's kind of terrifying. But this is just so full of angst that it's painful to read. Like, there is not a moment of happiness at all. And I get that she's a teenager. She's an angry teenager. And for me, I kind of went the other way as a teenager. I was just a very sad and anxious teen. I didn't really do the whole anger thing. It was definitely more like, yeah, depression and anxiety. What a fun time. But I feel like this is gonna sound so bad, but it's literally to the point where I'm like, girl, it's not that bad. It's just not that bad. And look, it sucks. Diabetes sucks, which is something the book talks about. And I get that because there is, like, it does suck. There is literally no upside to this at all. I've been diabetic, for 13, 14 years now, and I can tell you there is absolutely no positives to find in this. I understand where she's coming from. Again, when I was diagnosed with diabetes, I was 14, and I definitely went down the I'm sad about this route and not I'm angry about this. And I understand some of those feelings because there's a feeling of like, oh, this is my fault. And I get that. That is something that I felt a lot when I was first diagnosed, especially, you know, there's a lot of stigma around diabetes, and it's a lot of like, oh, it's because you ate too much sugar as a kid and blah, 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 all this fake stuff, you know. So it's hard not to internalize that. And so I really like the representation. Hi, Percy. Hi, friend. You know diabetes sucks, right? Kind of on that note as well, like I like that she like mentions like, oh, you know, when people find out you're a diabetic, they'll be like, yeah, my grandma's cat has that. And it's like, yeah, cool. Not the same, really. I feel like to a point this book is too close to me personally, that it's kind of like, but also like wildly different, if that makes sense. Like there's also an aspect of grief, and that is something that I have dealt with. It's just the entire 100 pages is just like this anger weighing her down, and like I guess in a way that's good, because like it's very palpable, and like it's not like wishy-washy at all. Like it's like, yep, this is a depiction of anger, but at the same time it's kind of like, oh god, I just need something. Just give us some other emotion other than that. Yeah, that's the thought. I am really tempted to not finish this because I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna give it a few days and we may come back to this. I think I want to start a bookshop in Algiers. I can't be bothered to get it right now because Percy will jump down if I lean across there. But it's, I think this one here or something. I think I'm going to start that. That's a really short one. I don't have the best hopes for that one either. But I don't know that I'm emotionally ready for Song of Achilles. So we're going to see. I'm going to try that one and then we'll come back, hopefully circle back to this one and decide on it. It is Tuesday today, which is my only day off this week, but I'm kind of thinking that maybe by Sunday I will decide on this one, and hopefully I finish the other one, maybe started Song of Achilles. We'll see. Okay, so many vlog clips being filmed today, but here we are to talk about this one. I started a bookshop in Algiers. I still haven't decided about Sugar, I should say. I think I'm just going to DNF it, but I'm going to give it until, I think, Saturday, and if I come back to it, I'll come back to it. I don't even know where I put it, but anyway. So I started this yesterday. I read the first 39 pages. This is surprisingly good so far. The writing feels very understated but very beautiful, and it doesn't feel too pretentious or forced. It's interesting. So yeah, I think it literally is like 140 pages. Yeah, it's 140 pages. So I have literally, so I only have 100 pages to go. But yeah, I think I'm gonna read a little bit more of this today. I have work this afternoon, but also my dad just called me to let me know that he's gonna turn up for something. So I don't know how much time I'm really gonna have, because I don't know when he's gonna show up. Sometime before I have to leave for work, but there's like a 3-hour gap there, so knowing my dad, he will literally turn up like the minute before I have to go. But anyway, I'm gonna read a little bit of this, I think, and by a little bit I mean I'm probably gonna read like 5 pages, because I am about to film another clip for another vlog and I want to read more of that book. But I'm hoping, honestly, I think by the end of this weekend I will have this one finished, and then I will decide on Sugar, and then I just have to pick up Song of Achilles and completely emotionally ruin myself again. So yeah, a couple of pages today. I don't think I'm going to come back and update you on this one before I finish it, because yeah, it's 140 pages. Unless things go terribly, terribly wrong in, I don't know, in that space, I think I will just be back when I finish. Okay, on to the next vlog. Hello, it's Sunday. Much to talk to you about. I have decided, at absolutely no shock to anyone, that I'm just gonna DNF this, because I don't want to read it. Even Alex had like a read of a few pages and was like, I understand, and I don't blame you for not wanting to continue it. So take the bookmark out, and there we go. But I feel like this is too high. Maybe that's better. I don't know. Yesterday I also finished a bookshop in Algiers. I think I had read up to about page 70 over the last few days, and then just decided to take the time to finish this up and read the last 70 pages yesterday. I really enjoyed this. I'm so surprised. I really thought this would be the one that I would end up not being able to finish, and that I would love this one. So interesting that it's a swap. This is like just beautifully written. It's really interesting as well. It is like literary fiction. I've said so many times lately that is not my genre, but there was something charming about it, and I enjoyed it. And then this morning I've had a little bit of time, and I thought, like, I might as well start Song of Achilles, because if I do read this, then I can finish this vlog and then I can have it go up. I was thinking this was going to end up going up like mid-June, but now I think I could probably do it in the first sort of 2 posting days that I have. So I'm hoping to finish this off by Tuesday, I think, and then it will probably go up on Friday. We'll see how we go. I started it. I read the first 46 pages. This is a reread for me, so I loved it the first time, and it has been, I think, a good 4 or 5 years since I read it, so I'm looking forward to seeing how I feel about it this time. And yeah, so it's Sunday today, so I'm hoping I might be able to finish it by Tuesday night, and we'll see how we go. I will probably, come back about halfway through and let you know if I'm still enjoying it. Really have nothing else to add today, so I'll just see you all when I have more to talk about. But is this going to be the quickest turnaround of one of these vlogs that I've done? Because that would be pretty great right now while I'm so far behind. Okay, here we are. It's Wednesday and I have just finished up with Song of Achilles, and I'm done. I'm done. This vlog is done. It feels really good. So brief little chat about this. When I read it, oh god, I don't even know when. A couple of years ago, I think maybe 4 years ago. All I remember is that I was living in this apartment, so I think about 4 years. I considered it one of my favorite books. I think it was a 5-star read for me, which I very rarely give, and it completely tore me apart. And this time, I don't know, I'm a different reader than I was back then, and reading it now, I've definitely found a couple of things that I just kind of found weird or didn't like, or all sorts of things. Reading the last little section of this really reminded me of another book that I've read since, that came out quite a few years after Song of Achilles, that ends in a very similar way, and I didn't enjoy that. And I also didn't really enjoy it in this either. I'm going to do a little spoiler bit here. I'm not going to mention what the other book is because I don't want to spoil that for anyone. But in here I'm talking about after, I don't even know how you say his name. We're just going to call him Paddy. After Paddy is dead and he's living as his sort of spirity thing, ghost. I don't really know. The fact that he's like still narrating it, I don't enjoy when stories do that. I don't know what it is. It's just kind of unsettling, and I just don't, I don't know. I don't find it that interesting. And I think part of that comes from this other book that I read that did the same thing, and I really didn't like that. And now reading this again, I'm like, it's that thing again, and I don't enjoy this. So I'd still give this, like, I think a 4 stars, because it's still a good book, and it is still really well written and things like that, but I just didn't have the same emotional reaction to it as I did the first time I read it, which honestly checks out lately. In the last year or so, when I've been reading things that I really, really enjoyed in the past, I found that I'd say maybe like 80 to 90% of the time I haven't ended up enjoying them as much, which is unfortunate, but I guess I just read different things these days than what I used to and what I used to love. So it's interesting that this is also one of those, because I had kind of expected to feel the same way, like I was emotionally preparing myself for this ending, and to be like really, really upset and emotional. And honestly, I read it kind of with like a straight face, and I was just like, yep, that's it. And it's still a nice ending. It's, you know, well, maybe not nice, but it's a beautiful ending, but it still just didn't hit me in the same way. But with that, we are finished for these ones. This has kind of worked out perfectly. I haven't really talked about this too much apart from with a couple of friends, but Alex actually moved in this week, so it's actually been funny that I ended up reading these ones during that time. So it was just weirdly well planned out. But let me talk about my ratings for them and the final total number, and then we'll be finished. Okay, so we'll start with Sugar because this was a DNF. I'm not giving ratings. I mean, I don't give star ratings to DNFs, but I also, for this project, am doing separate ratings between 0 and 10. DNFs are not getting a number at all, so there's that. Okay, then we'll go Song of Achilles, which I'm going to give a 7.5, which I think is my favorite rating in doing these number ratings. I don't know why, but a 7.5 feels like a good kind of level. I think maybe at the end of this project I'm gonna have to reassess what that means and maybe bump some things up or down, but right now this is going to be a 7.5. And this bookshop in Algiers, what a surprise, but I'm going to give this one an 8 because I really, really enjoyed this. I have been thinking about it since I finished it, and just it's so strange because this is not, out of these 3, this is not the type of book I would enjoy, like, ever. And yet there's just something very beautiful and charming about it, and I think it especially works for me off the back of reading The Library in Amy's video, because that had a sort of similar, in a way, kind of setup, and I really enjoyed that. And then when it came to this one, I was just in that kind of headspace already, and this is definitely more literary than that one. That one's more of a, I don't want to say chick lit, but general fiction sort of area, and this is definitely more literary. But they just kind of worked well together. So I found that when I came to this one, I really enjoyed it. So it's going to get an 8, which means that Alex has 15.5 as his total score. And that's the end of this vlog. I'm really proud of myself for getting this one out so quickly, because I definitely need some extra time to work on Sierras in June. So I'm glad that I managed to kind of speed through these 3 and that I will be able to move on to those ones. But that is the end for today. Alex doesn't have a channel, obviously, or literally any kind of social media that I'm going to link you to, but thank you anyway for picking these. You're probably going to watch this while I'm sitting next to you, and that's going to make me feel very uncomfortable, but thank you for picking them. And yeah, we're done. It's really exciting. Okay, I will see you all next time. As I mentioned in the video for Amy, I wasn't prepared that I would get this one up so quickly, but at this stage I'm definitely going to be a little delayed getting the Sierras up, mostly because I'm planning on taking a break at the end of June, but we'll talk more about that in some later videos this month. But that's it for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.